Estou disposta ao que queiras, não importa o que seja, me chamas a servir.
Did you not feel my spirit by your side? It always accompanies you, always. But there are moments when I ask our Lord to make you feel as if I were present, to encourage and strengthen you. These are the very words that Monsignor Subieta expressed in a letter almost 100 years ago. This is fitting enough to recall these very words, as we say, this is fitting enough because this holds on true up to this time. He said these very words as his way of sowing the seed of this congregation, and we live on until it bears fruit into our present time. And so this is a fitting time to look into what sustained us through these years. While for Monsignor Subieta, he lived 3 years after he had said these words. And for us, we live the years beyond that had made us live into this 102 years. What had sustained all throughout these years? Monsignor said that if he had only to live 3 years more after when he said these words, will be enough to make the important, basic, and necessary things without minding yet that that will be his congregation to live throughout these years.
Leva-me onde as crianças necessitem.
And each of this year, up to the present time, each of us in the congregation gave our part, that each of us had given on what we had received as what our founder had handed down to us. For all that we have anchored on, that Monsignor always said, always have the poor in your heart. Give always a space for these poor, for we are working for them. And one of those things that have sustained us, when each and every one of us allotted a special space in our hearts for the poor. And for our personal nurturance, the Eucharist plays a very important role in our life. Our spiritual nourishment will be the first portal, the best anchor that we can have. Our preference for the poor, we continue to live on. And for the particular charism, we have lived and give different expressions in this present time and this sustained life of our congregation. So it is, as we recall, that Monsignor always present with us to strengthen us, and that is what we have experienced. The expansion of this congregation, that we have now sisters present in 4 continents of this globe, is a manifestation that His Spirit is always with us. And so, dear sisters, this encouragement will not only sustain us, but the other years that will come beyond our own existence. We are sure enough that it is with this charism, God's grace will always be with us, and that we will only cooperate with what is being handed on to us. And this will live on and on and on. So my dear sisters in the province, dear sisters in the congregation, we have a stronghold and somewhere to anchor on, that we know that we will always live as we always cling to God's confidence. We always live with this faith that we are called for this special charism, so long as we will not lose sight of what our founders had set before us, and always live what we are supposed to do, strengthen our community life. We live because of a particular charism, and that will be the expression of our mission. And keep on innovating so that our relevance will also abide and do much more in our perseverance. The fidelity of each of us sisters in our day-to-day living will also be our sure hope, and always see that the hand of God is always with us. So dear sisters, take joy and pride to be a member, to be one of the sisters that Monsignor Subieta had founded. Viva Monsignor, viva Misioneras Dominicas. Happy Feast Day.
As palavras necessitem sentido de viver.
Happy Peace Day. 3.
Happy Peace Day! Happy Peace Day!
Onde falte a esperança, onde falte a alegria.
Happy Peace Day! Hi!
Happy Peace Day, everyone! Happy Feast Day!
Simplesmente